Hi everyone, welcome to day 53. Guys, I have so much emotion. We're on day 53, and I assure you, there's only 54 days. The Shem's not added on. Um, what a joy and a pleasure. In starting this Sefer, I remember going back, I think it was like a week or 2 weeks ago to the beginning. And, at the time, we're still in the middle of all this stuff with my son being away, not having seen or heard from him in a number of months. And, I know, in hearing it, a lot of people probably can't hear it, but I heard it. I literally heard, my voice, I really felt it. It was in a place of such despair and weakness. It was as if Hashem was picking my face off the mud. And, now here we are, day 53, and I'm so pleasantly pleased at just the progress that we made together, and with all of Am Yisrael just really, being behind us, and for those who really helped to promote this teaching should be zechus for everyone. Really, it was a team effort. It was a really big team effort, especially by the women who really, really love this mitzvah. Really, really, really love the mitzvah kisurosh, and was promoted by all the women who genuinely, really love their sisters in Am Yisrael and really want only the best for them, which is really what this whole series was supposed to be about. It's about that unity and just bringing the women of Am Yisrael together for that common goal and purpose, while trying to understand each other's point of view. Now, everything with Hashem's help, only Hashem knows. I think my biggest concern and fear is that, the truth of all this stuff behind the shaitel, I pray with Hashem's help that it comes to light. And I'm very confident, just given in the times that we're in, that it's going to come to light. The truth of what's going on, the making of these shaitels and all this, and it's going to come to light. I think that, but with that, we just have to be a support system. No matter what, we have to be a support system for each other, in everything we're going through, not just in this whole thing about tichel versus shaitel versus not covering at all, has v'shalom. I think there just has to be this renewed sense of camaraderie between all the women of Am Yisrael, regardless to what your background is, where you're holding. I think there just has to be this renewed sense of unity, because, Hashem's counting on us. The Geulah depends on the righteous women, and I'm counting on you. One thing we've learned, the motto in the Marine Corps is that no man stands for himself. Every man acts for the other. Really, this is our motto. The Marine Corps shouldn't be having to teach me this, or the nations. We should be teaching this, and I really want that sentiment to be echoed, that we're not for ourselves. When you do well, I do well. So it's in my best interest that you do well, and that all of Am Yisrael is protected. So we're going to talk today about the ramifications of Immodest attire, and it speaks about the loss of Hashem's protection. And it says, as explained earlier, the dwelling place of Hashem's Shekinah is dependent on modesty. When there is modesty, inevitably the Shekinah, when there's immodesty, inevitably the Shekinah must leave. When this occurs, we're unfortunately left without protection. And as Rav Moshe Sternbuch Shlita stated, if a woman wears a wig that is eye-catching, it is considered as if she is not covering her hair at all. This causes the breakdown of the boundaries of tznius and the departure of the Shekinah. Indeed, when the Shekinah leaves, has v'shalom, we become like prey to our enemies. And so we brought this up in the Behind the Curtains series, and I believe it was in the first one. It was right in the intro. We talked about this, about that the woman, not only was she taken the rib, which really describes her whole essence of being the protector of all that is vital in Klal Yisrael, But she is also the vessel to all the bracha. And when there's no modesty there, has v'shalom, it becomes, as a leaky vessel. And obviously, the 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 rate at which that vessel leaks is really dependent on the woman. If she's fully immodest, has v'shalom, if there's just certain things and it becomes like cracks in the vessel. But if you take one woman, and so you see this leaky vessel happening in that one home, times that by how many women, and then you start to see a picture that this becomes a leaky vessel within the community. And so has v'shalom, what happens is, because Hashem cannot look upon anything that's immodest, he cannot dwell in a place that's not kadosh. So it's like we're sending away the Shekinah, has v'shalom. So when that happens, if Hashem's not guarding your camps, that's it. It's like all your defenses are down. I remember, like, when I was young, Star Wars was the big movie, and their big goal was to take down the force field, which, once that is gone, you're left vulnerable. And you ever notice that when there's big gezerot coming onto the community, or if they're trying to pray for a specific person, the mitzvah they keep screaming at everyone is, the one of sneas, yet everyone wants to take up the challah, the can't, which is all great. All great. Please don't misinterpret what I'm saying. All great things. But you ever notice that they're always screaming about the sneas? So why is that? I mean, it's funny because we give them a lot of kickback. We don't want to be told about this, but it's like, I have this problem, but I don't want to take the medicine. That is the remedy. We want protection for Klal Yisrael. We want protection for our homes, for our children. Modesty is the way. That's it. That is it. That is what holds everything, or your candle lighting, or your challah, or everything. That's what holds it. If you don't have that in place, it's just like dumping water onto the floor. You don't have anything to hold it, has v'shalom. So this is a very important concept. It's not a matter of, if it's trendy or what's modern. It's a matter of necessity. It's a matter of necessity. You want the Geulah to come? Bring it. You're the one. You're the Calvary. There is no one but you. You have today. It's in your hands. But at St. Tan, it says, when a chain of tragedies occurred in Bnei Brak, Harav Dance Siegel Shlita told over an insightful revelation. The Rambam, that's with an M, Rambam, explains that when a tragedy occurs, we introspect and often strengthen ourselves in different areas. Yet this will not help us unless we know which sin brought about the misfortune. Although we do not have Nevi'im today, we have a clear source from Chazal and Bereshis Rabbah that death comes to the world because of the lack of sneas, and it has the power to affect good people as well. Indeed, the avera of looking at a married woman is like a fire, and it is most severe. Therefore, women must be extra careful not to attract undue attentions to themselves, especially with attractive wigs. It says, Harach Baruch Arabak Shlita, the son of Harav Shlomo Zalman Arabak Shlita, related the following episode. He said, a few years ago, there were many tragedies occurring, such as people dying, Rachmana Litzlan. People knew that this was a wake-up call from Hashem to repent, yet they were unsure in which area of Avodas Hashem they should strengthen themselves in. And a group of women decided to ask Harav Shlomo Zalman Auerbach what Hashem was requesting of them. And the Rav answer was profound and clear. And he said, in my opinion, it is due to the shaitos. And then he added, I'm not referring only to the long ones, I mean the short ones as well. So you see here, he's taken an even stronger stance. And it says the Skolner Rebbe Shlita revealed that a cancer spreads lo aleinu, and as the use of such shaitos becomes more widespread, since the obvious side effect of treatment is hair loss lo aleinu, it's a midah keneged midah for not covering the hair properly. Unfortunately, even righteous people sometimes have to suffer for those who are negligent in this area, since Klal Yisrael is like one person. So we know this to be true. And, no one should ever think that I am so small that I cannot have change. If you have a toothache, it's like the smallest thing in your body. You are out for the count. The whole body goes down. But even more so than that, if you think that you're so small you can't make a change. You know, I would say, imagine yourself in a room with a mosquito that is so small, right? So, quote unquote, fragile looking, but you will be running from that mosquito. So imagine you have more koyak and strength than a mosquito, and yet a mosquito has the power to make even the biggest person run and and get afraid. So you cannot underestimate Shem, and when you collaborate with Shem, you cannot underestimate the results of what can happen. Day 53, the fact that I'm doing it is a pure example of the, what happens when you decide to when you take Hashem's hand, you just put your life in his hands. Amazing things can come out. So it says, this may be the meaning of Rashi in Navi Yeshayahu, when he says, in the place that they sin, they tied wigs to their hair, making themselves look taller, more attractive. There they will be punished with an affliction that will make them lose their hair. We've seen this prophecy come true. On a positive note, a volunteer from Tel HaShomer Hospital in Eretz Israel related the following account, which occurred approximately 10 years ago, when it was discovered that many shaitos were made of Indian hair, which has been used for avodah zarah. Oh my goodness. Many women in Eretz Israel were unsure about the status of the wigs and therefore took off their shaitos for the time being. At that time, the oncology ward in the hospitals, unfortunately, is usually very full, did not have any Jewish patients. Incredibly, all the Jewish patients got better and were discharged, and this was told by the volunteer, Miss Chevy Rutkin. So now, this is my big concern now. This whole issue of avodah zarah, where the hair is coming from. This is what really scares me, and it really makes me want to cry. It really makes me want to cry. First of all, I'm going to limit what I'm going to say, but I find this very troubling to me because I don't think people really understand the hair industry. This is not something that you should be taking lightly. Do not be fooled by the fact, when there is money to be made, there is money to be made. Do not think that, this is going to be an acceptable. It just kills me. I think what bothers me most is all the women who cried for the shaitos that didn't even look like shaitos, for all the women that cried. Shem, please, let them see their children, their descendants, in a holy and modest manner. May you only see good things for your children. And Hashem, please help them, because I know in their heart of hearts, they really want to serve you, which is why they're buying these shaitos. They really want to serve you. Hashem, please, I pray you would bring it to light. So it says, level of purity of the husband and children. And we learn earlier in the Zechus and Snias, a woman is zochet, a husband and children who are righteous and excel in Torah and Yiras Shamayim. Unfortunately, if a woman conducts herself immodestly, this will affect the purity of her husband and her children. And again, this is also a source brought down from the Gemara, that to the Rasha goes the Pultsa, and to the Tzaddik goes the Tznuah. Why didn't it say to the Rasha, that he's gonna get a wicked woman as well? No, instead it says to the wicked man, he's going to get a prostitute. I mean, this was really it's mind-boggling. A person truly must be bamboozled by the Yetzer Hara. They cannot see this. It doesn't have to be a clear fashion. If they can't even, sniff the concept of what is going on with, we really have sunk in at such a place where we can no longer see the emet, that we cannot even see what's going on. And says the Harav Sender, Erlanger Shlita cautions, when we need to rectify the problem of today's shaitos, which causes forbidden thoughts, are against the will of Hashem, and defy the purpose of the mitzvah of covering the hair. Then he asked a profound question: do these women think that they will have children who are tzaddikim and Talmid Chacham? Hachamim who through wearing wigs in public that incite the Yetzer Hara, do they think their husbands will have siyata dishmaya in learning, and their children will be saved from the Yetzer Hara that is lurking everywhere in our generation? He ends with a frightening conclusion. It's no wonder that there are so many children being lost from Yiddishkeit, Has v'Shalom. This comes as a result of arousing the Yetzer Hara, which is a most severe sin, and there's nothing that incites the Yetzer Hara like these shaitels. It is impossible that a woman can raise a righteous generation if she does not conduct herself modestly, according to Renei Kedusha. Those who are aware of the severity of wearing such wigs and those who are not aware are sinning and causing others to sin through violating the Avera of do not sway after your hearts and your eyes, and do not follow the custom of the secular world. What will help if what will it help if such a woman's husband learns in a kollel and her sons learn in yeshiva? The foundation of the Torah, the mother does not rectify her ways. So isn't that the truth? It's like, it's all fun and games when we want to dolly up and we want to look good and we, it's all fun and games until it comes to your children. When it hits your home, all right, when your children start going off the derech, this is a wake-up call. And, again, this is the problem. This is even for us. Now, even for myself, I can tell you that even don't think that my kids are old, it's too late. Even for myself, I'm telling you, like, once my husband, when he converted and we converted and we got married, there was such a shift. But by that point, a lot of damage had been brought in. And I'm telling you, it's all fun and games until you see, all that your children are Has v'Shalom ready to make a mistake. And then all of a sudden you realize all the wasted time, that it's not also cute. There's nothing cute about your child coming in and telling you that he's going to go and follow a different path of that Torah mitzvot. Now, Shem has the power to bring him back from whatever place. There is no place that Hashem can't get to. But really, do you want it to be, what Hashem has to do to bring them back? I'm telling you, don't let this be a joke. Don't let what I'm telling you slip by. This is not a joke. Wake up to what's going on in the world. Wake up to what's going on in your children. If you are wise, you will see the signs and you will stop immediately. And I pray that you will go on the Derek Emet, and no matter what, that you will stay strong and that you'll keep going forward, because at the end of the day, you need Hashem's help in this day and age. There's no way to go through life without Hashem. There is no way. There is nothing. And everything is coming from Him. Please, I beg you, all the women of Am Yisrael, please, I beg you. It's just for your children's sake, if not for your own, for your children's sake, I beg you, please consider upgrading wherever you can. I know it's hard. Wherever you can. Even if it's 1 day, 2 days, please, I beg you, one foot in front of the other. And I beg for Hashem's help in this matter, because I know, Hashem, that your daughters want to serve you wholeheartedly. Everyone loves you, Hashem. We beg for your help. But we're going to end, and it says, we're going to end on a positive note. Yay! So it says, it is incredible to note that the reward for doing a positive act is 500 times greater than the punishment for transgressing that specific mitzvah. And Zal teaches us that maybe for this reason, Harav Chaim Kanievsky Shlita said that a 1% improvement in sneeze can affect 1,000 Yeshua. So let me just paint a picture for you, okay? So you weren't sneezed today, so mark that as a 0. You weren't sneezed yesterday or a week and 1 month, So you're adding all those days. You weren't sneezed in any way. 0, 0, 0, 0. So now you have like, a billion zeros in front of you for however many days, let's not exaggerate, right? Let's say like you have 10,000 zeros. That's how many days you just were not sneezed. Now you go 1 day, right? 1 day. You have 10,000 zeros. You put that 1 in front of those 10,000 zeros. You just turned it all around. You just flipped all of those averot into mitzvot. Do not underestimate the power of one time. Don't underestimate the power of one time. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. With Hashem's help, I know you can do it. And I'm telling you, I am so glad we did it together. For all those who stuck by all the days, we did it together. And Besrat Hashem, I'm so happy to announce that Besrat Hashem, I pray that we'll be picking him up tonight, and that there'll be there'll be a reunion of mother and child. But I pray that for this whole series, that it should unite Hashem with Shekinah and with all his children, Hashem. I don't fully, there's no way I can fully grasp your pain, but I know that you've made me aware of it through this whole situation. The pain of not being with your child, your children, Hashem. My heart breaks for you. And so I beg that that these words would fall so sweetly on the ears of all the listeners, that they should just find them with love and koyach and strength. And that in that one moment, if it's one moment they thought of you, know that I've done this all for a gift for you, that you should never be separated from your children, because I understand now what it is to be separated from your child, not to hear from them, not to see them, not to hug them. I understand that concept of your pain. I cannot fully understand it all, but I understand the concept. So I pray that this whole series would be such a changing point to bring many women back to their emet, and that they should too also spread and change the world and bring Mashiach, Besrat Hashem. And if he's not come, tomorrow will be the final episode. And Besrat Hashem, all my family will be under one roof. And may I not have to give them away again until it's time for the chuppah. But that's it for today. And I hope we will all be together again soon. Besrat Hashem with Mashiach. Amen.